I think Kenneth Walker is the best player on the offense. Like that's what I think so far. If that proves to be true, what's your expectation about like how much this team will lean on Ken Walker, how much they will run versus pass? How are you kind of imagining this offense come together?
Well, Ken Walker's got all of the talent in the world. I mean, if he stays healthy, I can't remember every name off the top of my head right now, but I can only imagine there's probably Saquon Barkley with as much natural physical talent as Ken Walker in the league. And the problem with Walker is that he just hasn't been able to stay out there. I can remember the game against the Broncos, week 1 last year, before we knew what the offense was going to become under Ryan Grubb. I remember thinking this guy could easily lead the league in rushing yards if they were going to actually run the ball. That was a premature thought. Or maybe he could be amongst the leaders because the talent is there and he can make things happen. He can hesitate sometimes and he tends to dance a bit too much in the backfield when he gets caught up, and maybe there's a bit more discipline that he needs to show when he's running the kind of plays he needs to run. But he is just such an incredible player. And look, you saying that he might be the best player in the offense is not a surprise because on pure talent, you would think that he'd be right up there. It's simply about being able to stay on the field, not getting banged up. And there's no better time for him to stay on the field, play through the pain, make sure he's out there than in a contract year. And I really hope that you're right, Brian. And if the line can block and he can stay healthy, then he's got a great chance to have a massive season.
Mike, do you agree with that statement about Ken Walker being the best player on the offense? And two, if that's true, how good can an offense be if their best player is the running back?
No, I think Jackson's the best player on the offense. And I think that if Ken was the best player, that's bad. Because then you get like 2023 Giants type situation, whatever last year Saquon was in New York, where it's just like, oh, you have this guy and he's good, but no one else is as good as him. And he's just running into brick walls. I think that the Raiders could run into a very similar situation where I guess they have Bowers, but it wouldn't surprise me if like Genty is their best player on offense this year, and that's a problem. Like that just can't be. It can't be your guy. Like I think if the Seahawks want to get somewhere, Charles needs to be their best player, or Abe, or even if it's Gray. I don't think it matters that much. Just someone up there, like someone who blocks. That's not Robbie Oots. Like if Oots is the best player, that's a problem too. I think.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm higher on Jackson than Ken, because I think that I don't want to say this without making Ken seem not smart. I just think Jackson processes the game a little better. Like Ken with the reads is like real shaky. Like he does not trust his eyes consistently. Like there's a lot of, like you'll see. I'll watch the film. Now I got the benefit of watching like all 22 angle and slow-mo with replays and stuff, but I'll be sitting there looking like, wow, was the run did Ken just not hear the call right? Or did everyone block the wrong way? Or, there was just a lot of that. I remember talking to running backs coach Chad Morton about that a lot in the 2022 season. Ken was really good. It was like, he just needs to trust what he's seeing a lot more. Stop cutting everything back. I think he had a talk with Ken about that in the halftime of the Chiefs game. They ended up losing, but if you guys remember, they came out and Ken ran the ball a lot better in the second half of that Chiefs game. They ended up losing in December because he talked to him like, yo, hey, man, the play is supposed to go here. You are a freak athlete, but every once in a while, my man, just go there. That really helps out our line. You get cutting stuff back. Guys get holding calls. If you got no one to help block you, if you get down the field. So I don't think Jackson really has that problem. Like he did as a rookie. I think he ran the wrong route several noticeable times. At least once in the Thursday night game, he has the one-handed catch against the Niners. Another time against the Cardinals. I want to say in his rookie year as well. I think he stopped doing it as much last year, which helped having like 1,100 yards. So I think Jackson's upstairs is a lot better. The physical talent, yeah, it's probably about the same.